Tonight we're going to start in on something a little different. I picked up, I don't know if you know who Andy Shen is, but he has kind of worked to, I don't want to say perfect, but worked pretty hard on the design of the Squirt, ShenDrones Squirt. You've probably heard of that. If not, you've definitely heard of a Cinewhoop, and the ShenDrones Squirt is one of the original sort of Cinewhoops out there. Well, he also has a number of other projects that he works on, and you can find all those at the ShenDrones website. You Google it, and I saw on there a hexacopter, a big 6-way hexacopter called the Hevi. It's a 7-inch, it's a big hexacopter. So it can run all sorts of things. It's got room for 4 stacks. So, and I was thinking about running a DJI on it. In fact, he designed it kind of to run a DJI. So that's what's in this box right here. Got some bits and bobs. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so this box is what we got. So the flight let's talk about the flight controller. The flight controller is the Kakuti AF7. I picked this because it's the HD version, and because in the diagrams I saw it has motor 5 and motor 4 and motor 5 and motor 6 outputs. And if we kind of look, we can see M5 there and M6 there. So those are that's the reason I selected this flight controller. Now on the other side of that is this attached to that is going to be a power board, actually 2 power boards. I'm going to have one for the left 3 and one for the right 3, and we'll just kind of figure out the best sort of way to put them in the quad. And then with that I have these ESCs. So I have a bunch of these Lumineer 45 amp ESCs that I'm hoping mine will be more than sufficient for our if we look inside here, we can kind of see what we're dealing with. We've got this guy. Yeah, I'm hoping that this this is the Lumineer Razor 32, and I'm hoping mine that it will turn these 2803s just fine, or I'm sorry, 2806 and a halves. So these are 1300 kV Xing motors, and I have 6 of them to go in this quad, and I believe I have 6 ESCs too. If I can just find the last 2, which probably just sitting in the bottom of the, yeah, there they are. I have them all. They're all here. Yep, I've got them all. So that's the plan, and of course I have an air unit as well. So we're going to go ahead and get cracking on this guy and see what we need to do to get it all together. And I'm hoping it's a fairly straightforward build. And I went back and forth with Andy a couple of times via email, and he recommended using a power PDB and just doubling up on some of that, and I didn't really like that idea. I just I felt like, you know, I really wanted a proper PDB. Comes with a nice GoPro mount for a 7, and this is a fairly chunky one. So I'm guessing it has all sorts of adjustability, it looks like. And you can mount your camera on top, so you can actually mount this to the front of your frame like this, put your camera on top, and, you know, go flying. And it looks like this is actually set up for the cam. I'm charging batteries for tomorrow, so if you hear a bunch of fans spinning, that's why. We've got battery straps, and we've got feet for our arms. We've got some kind of additional bottom plate. I don't know if this is a stiffener or what it is. Oh, no, never mind. That's going to be to lock our arms together. So, these are some fairly chunky arms. They look like 6 or 7 mil arms. And then we've got just a couple more items in here. Looks like a DJI air unit, TPU flexed antenna mount. Alright, I think that's it. So, this is going to be the top plate, and then, or I'm sorry, this is the bottom plate, and then these guys are going to, let's see, line up like that. So this is the front of the quad. Just go like this. No, I did it right the first time. Yeah. Alright. So we've got plenty of room for all sorts of stacks and everything else that we want to run. And my ESCs are just going to mount right in these, basically these spaces, and hopefully not be a problem. And let's cut open some of our kit here. We've got a ton of screws, bolts. All right. This is garbage. And we'll empty out our standoffs because we don't need those just yet. And then we're going to just grab a box here. Always good to have like little containers for screws and stuff like that. I sometimes just don't use them enough. And then down here, I guess these are for the standoffs. Alright, rocking and rolling. And I'm planning on running 2 6S's on this. They will be kind of joined together in parallel so that we're not, overloading anything. And does this have a side? No, I don't think it does. And that guy is going to go like that, and all of our stuff is going to come up through there. Those are going to be our standoff holes, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and that gives us room for 1, 2, 3, 4. Room for 4 stacks. That's pretty good. Gotta say, fairly impressed with that design. And we'll just set these down here in the bucket. And we'll get the arms mounted up as our first step. Do we want this on the inside? I'm gonna have to Google. This is the rear. This is the front. Good to know. Okay, this goes on the bottom. Good. Alright, just making sure. Always good to double check that you have everything the way you think it's supposed to be mounted up before you continue. And we're going to use these long ass bolts to kind of come down through the top and secure it with nuts on the bottom. Right, just like this. I gotta say, this is a chunky ass frame. It's chunky. And whenever you see cutouts like this, these go towards the bottom. And what it's designed to do is so that you can better control the thickness of your screw, and your screw doesn't have to come all the way up through 7 millimeters of carbon in order to be, you know, effective. Because that's an awful lot of carbon. It's a lot of carbon, I tell you what. They give me enough screws? I'm wondering. I don't think. Better be 12 left in here. Better be 12. Actually, I think I probably have these screws in spades. So, even if it didn't come with all of them, I probably have enough lying around. It's funny, they feel greasy. But greasy like lotion greasy, not like, you know, mechanical grease or anything. Yeah. Feels like my wife's hands before bed. Who am I to judge? Keep on trucking. We'll tighten all these up at the end here once I've got this thing pretty much assembled in a manner that matters. Just make sure your divots are all on the same side, and you'll be a happy camper. Oh, come on. Where are you? Looks like I do have enough. Huh. Go figure. Yeah, I figured if I was going to be down here for another half an hour or so waiting on batteries to finish charging, I might as well work. Get some building done. And yeah, good God, this can't even fit it all in the camera view, I bet. Yeah. I like big drones and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Yeah, this is like one step down from like a beast class or a, you know, and a beast class is like one step down from an X class. So, you know, at some point we'll build one of those, but for now, you know, baby steps, right? There's no reason to jump straight into flying a drone that's a meter or more in height and width. Or length and width? Length and width. Yes, that's probably right. Alright. Just go on around here. Tightening them down. As far as I know, there's not any reason not to tighten them all down. This point. I can't think of any reason anyway. So that's just what I'm going to do. Because these screws were made for screwing. That's just what they do. One of these days these screws are gonna screw all over. Yeah, she ain't tiny, but she's got it where it counts. Making noise now. Batteries are getting there. I gotta take a break. You know. Okay. Well, look, it came with a cable. Yeah, thanks. Is that really the only cable? Jesus. That is like the world's smallest cable. Okay, so more of the world's smallest cables. That's fine. I think what we'll do is we will set our DJI, excuse me, tired, been a long day. I think what we'll do is we'll mount the DJI here near the front and bring it up, and we'll use this this mount as intended, and yeah, just run it that way. I think it should fit right in this little box, and it does, and it's even got a screw hole to hold it in place, and looks like we can adjust this guy a bit anyway, to get camera tilt just right so that it holds the GoPro and everything. So that's going to be fun. And we'll just tape it down onto our quad here. We'll find a good spot, put a little grip under it, and then wrap it with electrical tape. That should hold it plenty. So I think we know where that's going to go. And then the stacks that we're actually focused on, there's one that can go here, and then we've got our two, and then up here we can run so what we're going to do is run these guys like that, I think. And that gives us 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think.
Battery is fully charged. Battery is fully charged.
Think my batteries are fully charged? Yeah. Okay. Yes, yes. Yeah, I think I'll run it just like that. I think that that's probably the best solution. Just because, yeah, I think we can make that work best, and we'll just. Yeah. One on either side coming up to this connector, and then a double input. I think what I'll do is I'll just clip off these XT60s and run this wire right to these pads. Yeah. No reason to have an XT60 to an XT60 to a cable to an XT60 and then two more XT60s on the other end. It feels like a lot. There might be a better way to do this. I might not do it this way. I bought these because I was feeling like, oh, this is the way to do it, but now that I'm doing it, I don't really want to do it that way. Yeah, we'll get these up, and then we'll mount the F7 right there. Yeah, sorry if I'm rambling on. Yeah. So that's the connector for the DJI. It's good. We've got this guy, which is, you know what, I might just solder it up. are our standoffs? Not very tall. That's actually a bummer. That means I'm going to have to keep this kind of low. I can make that work. Either that or I do that. Yeah, I might run it just like that. These two right here can come off of this guy, and then I had been planning on doing 1, 2, 3 to a side, but now that I'm looking at it, 2 in the rear, I think that's going to be the way to go. I think so. I think that's the answer. I think so. I do reckon. Alright, we're going to set this guy aside for a little bit while we...
Battery is fully charged.
I think that's everything.
Battery is fully charged.
It might be time to call it a night.
Battery is fully charged.
It's midnight.
Battery is fully charged. Battery is fully charged.
Alright. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a little soldering tonight. Just to kind of put an end to the day. Get this guy tinned up. And then we can call it a night. Jesus, what happened to that? Flip it around, do the other side. Fingertip, always a good idea. Wet it just a tad. Yeah, just a skosh warm. Alright, so we've got 2, 3, Wait, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's that guy. He is nice and tinned up, ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and do the next one. This one. Alright, so if we mount it like this into our quad, this guy's at the front and this guy's at the rear. Probably want to just do 3 and 1. Yeah. So if I hold it kind of like this, that should let me do all of it. Gotta say, really good product, stick vise. Really good. Ask anybody and I'll tell you, I don't normally praise tools, you know, but this one's alright. You see that? I'm bleeding through the via holes. Just be mindful of that. You don't want to go all the way through. So we're going to do 1 and then we're going to do 3. Oh yeah, we should probably do the RX pad too. Even though we're probably not going to end up running any telemetry off this thing because D-shot, right? But in case I decide to run it with Pro Shot or something else, maybe we'll. I reckon that one's done. Yeah. Yeah, so again, the plan, we're basically going to mount our, we're going to mount it in the quad pretty much like this, and our, we're going to run our unit just like this. This will power the 2 fronts and on both sides, and this will power the 2 rears on both sides. So if you imagine that. So that's our stack set up right there, and we'll get it mounted up in the quad right after the right after this break, I guess. Welcome back. We are back on the bench with the Hevi from ShenDrones, and I was just getting ready to hook up the motor wires, or tin up, I guess I should say, the M5 and M6 holes, and I'm just thinking about how best to wire everything so that it all works. Now, with modern D-Shot, everything is done over one wire, and you don't actually need to telemetry or anything else coming off those pads. But if I'm going to make up a cable for this rear, the rear PC power distribution board, I need to know the pinouts of the cable for one, but that's secondary. The other thing I need to know is I need a ground, and then I'm trying to remember if I need if I actually need a I believe I need the pinouts and the ground. And I think that the ground coming out of this is actually the same ground used for everything. And I just want to kind of double check that I'm right. So we're going to plug in our cable to the other side. Just slide it down to the end here, plug it in real quick. And then we're just going to check continuity between the grounds, because I want to make sure that I'm using the same ground, the same equivalent ground, I should say, as everything else. And let's see, G is going to be probably the one next to the red wire. I'm guessing, but you know, it stands to reason that you would put your power next to your ground, and that the rest would be, you know, yeah, battery positive, and then M4. So it's probably battery positive, negative, current, or TX, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're just going to take this wire and we're going to hold our probe on it, and we're going to touch a ground. Actually just got some new probes for this guy. Well, yeah. Interesting. It doesn't seem to be tied to ground. So again, I could have this wrong, so probably time I got out the instructions, huh? Let's see here. We want broke QT. We want wiring diagram. Always fun trying to figure out what pins are pinned. You know, another way I could try and do this, put this on the ground pad and just walk these pins. It looks a lot like pin 3, doesn't it? Yeah. That's weird. Alright, manual's downloading. The other one I need is the Radix Brain PDB. Let's make sure I got the right thing. Brain FPV Radix PB. Wiring diagram. Brain FPV. Radix. PB. Gram. Go. Alright, so here's the power board. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Is there no wiring diagram listed at all for the power distribution board? Pin out. Oh, for fuck's sake, really? Sometimes when manufacturers don't bother to tell you what the fuck you're working with, you got to figure it out for yourself. It's really not that tough. All you got to do, looking down at this, is work. Really? Okay, well, whatever. So we're going to check continuity between the positive pad and the ones that we think are probably the positive pad, which is going to be one of these guys here. So starting here, no, that's 4. This one, one, 2, 3, 4. I don't have anything there. 5, 6, 7. There. That's battery voltage right there. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one over, I think. And then now let's figure out our order here. The one next to it is probably going to be ground. So, or this one is ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, not that one. There it is. That one's ground. So, and then we want the RX out of this is going to be nothing on that. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so we've got pin number 1. Now, let's try this ground. Positive, yep. Negative. No. Interesting. So we've got 5 volts out, and okay, good. So this red line is the 5-volt line, the black line is our ground line. This green line, I don't know what it is yet, but, and then let's try pin number 2. Okay, so the wiring goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. So let's see if I can get back on 1. Wow. There we go. Just had to get down through the flux. And then this RX pad probably has some flux on it too. Okay, good. So this is going to be the telemetry pad, I believe. Yep. And then this negative pad should be the negative over here. Okay, good. Sometimes when you have flux on top, it can be a little bit tricky to figure out what's what. So you just don't be afraid to push that pin at that point right into that solder to figure out what's going on. And then this G pad is going to end up being ground. Good. Okay. So these pins, the last one here is going to be our telemetry. This one is probably going to be our current. I still don't know what this other green wire here is going to be. So Let's just see if that is this LED. No, I don't think it's that. Aha. The green wire is connected up to F, whatever F is. Feature, function, something. I have no idea what it would be for. Alright, so I think I'm just going to hook up the one wire and call it. I'm not going to pull telemetry on these guys because I don't think we need to. So we're going to have 1 through 4, battery voltage, and our ground. That should be plenty. 1 through 4, battery voltage and ground. That's what we're going to run on the main one. And then 1 and 3 and battery voltage, 1 and 3 and ground on the other one, because I don't need any battery voltage. I don't need anything coming off the other one. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Good, 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 good. Okay, so I want to make up some pins. Yeah. Let's get some soldering done. Okay. We need a ground. We need a 5 volt or a M5. We need the M6. That looks pretty good to me. I think so. I don't think I need anything else here. Everything should be powered off the. Once I have the DJI in, it's just done. Yeah. Alright, and we want to find our kit for making cables. No, not that one. Is it this one here? This is our cable making kit. This is. And since we're going to be spreading this thing out a little bit, we have, this is the rear. The middle. And yeah. So these ones can be short. Let's say we need red and black for our power, and then we're going to run. All right, and then these guys need to be longer, but not by much. And we only really need 3 wires for that. Yeah, we're just going to run. Yeah, you can buy this kit off of Race Day Quads or really anywhere. It's a pretty nice little kit. does what we want to. Is that going to be long enough? That should be plenty, right? And then I'm going to use these other wires for the. They're the short ones. Yeah. We'll just wire it up with that one, and then for the other one, we'll use these wires because they need to be soldered anyway. So let's double check our flight controller and get our stuff back in our bag, because I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uh-oh. We don't have an end on that guy. Yep, we got 2 ends. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good. Should be good to go at this point. Pack these guys back up. Oh. And now you can wire all this thing, you can wire it all up hard, you know. I'm using connectors just because I'm lazy, I guess. So now comes the best part of the video where I make cables. So, choice is yours if you want to watch or skip ahead, or if I'll even include this. So, let me just double check. I think I have everything right, but this was VBAT. VBAT. Well, there's 5 volt, but that's not 5. Nope. Do I not have a VBAT line? I guess not. Holy cow. Do have ground. And that one was this third one. Yeah, I need the wiring diagram. Alright. Okay, so 1 to 8. 1 is on this side. We have battery positive UART 7 receiver, ground, a current sensor, and then M1 through 4. Okay, good. So let's take out our red wire. Okay. And we'll just go right on down the line. 3. Okay. 2. 3. That's going to be all I need for the other one. I've got 1. 2. Oh, come on. All right. before I take out this last one, I'm just gonna put in the wires where I believe they go, and we'll double check everything. Okay, that guy is in. Now we want, that would be 1, and then we want 3. It's going to be our ground, and you want the little pin to go up. See, there's like a little barb on the top here, and you just want to make sure it goes in. Now I'm in slot 3, so I've skipped one. Slide it all the way in until you hear it go, and that's it. So now we can go ahead and take out our last one here. Just take your time with it, it'll all work out. Don't get frustrated, because it's easy to get frustrated with cables. Alright, and now we're going to do M4 last. If it doesn't want to go in, just flip it around, see if it goes in better that way. M4 is last. We'll do these purple ones next, because why not? It doesn't actually matter with the color of the wire. We know what they do. It's 3. Okay, and just give your pins, give these little plastic tabs a little gentle downward push. And if your plastic is old, forget about it. These things break like you wouldn't believe. So have extras if you're going to be doing this. Like I showed you that kit. It came with like a dozen of each type that you typically encounter in a build. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay, those are our 4 motors, and here's our positive and, or our VBAT and ground. Okay, that's going to be our connection, and then yeah, we're not going to do current sensing on this guy because I don't think it'd work anyway with the with 6 motors, and I think the telemetry works with the ESC. I honestly, I don't know, you know. Your guess is as good as mine. So yeah, we're gonna just use our reference here. Use our reference to figure out which one was. We're actually gonna take off our connector from one end of this. Yeah, we're just gonna go. Yeah, maybe I'll use the one that's not attached to the PDB. Short cables definitely harder to work with. Out. Get your X-Acto underneath and just lift it up a little bit. Give it a little tug. Should come right out. That doesn't need to be up all that far. So you go too far and it'll snap it. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next up, our 5-volt out, which we're not going to use. Okay, well, come on, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Our ground, which we are going to use. Our F, whatever the fuck that is. Our VBAT, which is what we want. It's at this point right here, as soon as this wire lets go, I am going to plug in this other one because I want to just keep my orientation the same, just because, you know, it's real easy to get turned around when you're working on these things. And I just want to make sure that I'm not turned around. Okay. Sometimes you just need a little itty bitty pair of needle nose pliers to provide enough pressure to get it in there. It should go fairly easily, but not always. And then you can kind of work it down with your knife. I think that's in there. Nope. Sometimes it's useful to have a dull bladed X-Acto to use, a bit like a almost like a little pusher or a screwdriver. It helps. I think that's got it. Feels like it's in there. Okay. Which means that the ground wire was not the one next to it, but the one next to that. So just move it on over, not that one, the one next to it. And again, I don't know why, but this cable, these connectors just do not want to play ball today. Okay, and then we'll use our handy dandy X-Acto with the blunt tip to kind of force it down in there all the way. Should be good. Alright. And then just to remind myself, it was what was it? It was 1 is the closer one, I think, and the pad for 1 was right here. So we're going to push down on that, make sure our thing is still on, and it's going to be one of these white wires, so we're just going to go, yep, and 3 is going to be the second one over, I bet. There it is. Alright. So the one at the end is 4. So we just want to make sure that we are, the one at the end is 4. Yep. And for ours, the one at the end is 4. Yep. Okay, so now we can just go we got the 2 purples and the green, so the green is number 1. Four, 3, 2, 1. Purple number 1. Flip him over. 4, 3, 2. All right, purple number 2. One, 2. Four, 3. There we go. Just gonna make sure we've got that guy down in there. Okay. And then the one next to that is going to be number 1. Or number 4, rather. Yeah, I even fucked that up, didn't I? Okay. All right. Alright, let's go ahead and remove the other half of this cable. Here's this guy. And finally, this one. Yay! We have a cable, mostly. Yeah, this last one is a little snug in here because the nature of these connectors. They're just kind of the wrong size, it looks like. Okay. Let's make sure, let's plug it into our PDB, make sure we got everything right. Just gently push it in. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to test using our probes. Let's go ahead and just check our grounds. So that's going to be ground. Good. Now let's check motor 2. That should be this second purple wire from the end. Good. Let's check our positive. Yep. And just to confirm, yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we are rocking and rolling here. We've got one of these all set to go, and that will connect up to our flight controller like so. And so that's forward, and we'll run it like that. There really isn't any rhyme or reason to how we run this. And we could do like this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. That way, one. Yeah. We'll run her like that, I think. Yep. Yep. Okay, now let's get this other one fashioned up, and we'll just pull out all the pins real quick, because we kind of know which one we want. This one's going to be 3. We know we want that one. This one's going to be 2. We know we want number 1, which is right here. So I'll put in the connectors for number 1. Push our thing down. So it traps it. Yep. And then we want number 3, which is going to be the one over from the end. Put that guy in that. So there's 1 and 3. Our motor wires that we're going to wire up to 5 and 6. And then we want to skip the next one as being 5-volt output. The next one is going to be our ground wire. Want that guy to go in. Come on. Get locked in there. Alright, that ought to do it. Let's get our last 4 pulled. VBAT, and then these last 2 we don't use. Oh, come on, you whore. That's right. Tear you apart. Piece of shit. We're just going to stuff these back in our bag, and maybe one day we'll have a use for them. Alright. Got all of these guys too. This is this. This. Okay. Rocking and rolling. Now, we need to solder our this guy up to here, and since this is the front and this guy is going to be in the back like that, we want it to be at least, yeah, about like that. Alright. 1, 2, and 3. And we'll just tin these guys real fast. There's 1, 2, 3. And now our PDB, or rather our PCB for our flight controller. Alright. Okay, 1 over from the end here is going to be 3, which we're going to call motor 6, and the other one next to it is going to be motor 1, which we're going to call motor 5. And then the one next to that is going to be ground. So we'll do the ground first. And what we're trying to do here is just stick it down through the hole. Heat it up, stick it down through the hole, let it cool. Alright, and then motor 1, we're going to connect up to motor 5. Down through the hole. Done. Looks pretty good. Must have got plastic on this somehow. Smelling burning plastic. Alright. And then motor 6, we're going to connect up to number 3. There it is. Alright. So now we've got our PDBs ready to go. And now we need to wire our XT60s on here. That's going to be an interesting challenge, I think. I may run them to the bottom side, because I don't like, yeah, I'm going to connect it to the bottom side. So I'm going to re-tin these guys and just connect them up on that, because I don't like connecting them to the top side with all this other stuff on here. It's just too close. It'd be too much work. Just be too much, I reckon. So, yeah, it happens sometimes. It goes down, you're just like, why is that really how this is supposed to be? Alright, there's that guy. Flip this guy over. Re-tin both of these. Yeah, the problem is it's with all these damn vias in it, it's hard to make a good tin pad. It's alright. We'll make it work. We will make it work. Okay, the next thing to do is probably to connect up this guy. Now, my plan, and this is maybe ill-advised, is to run two XT60s. So the way I'm thinking of doing it is just having this guy, my two batteries connect into here, then this guy comes out, forks, goes one to each, and then rather than doing anything funky, I'll just clip these guys off and call it done, right? So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm just going to clip them, and that should run to those PCBs just fine. I mean, I can't see any reason why it won't work. If you can, speak up now. You know, I'll rethink everything. Nothing? Alright. Alright. Get the stupid wire off. What gauge is it? 14? Alright, whatever. I can make it work. That should be enough, he says confidently. Alright, give him a couple twists, make sure there's no wires hanging out. And this is not the right tip to use for this sort of work, I know that, but you gotta use what you got. And I do so much, you know, micros that. Alright. That I really do need, you know, a bit more, a bit of a connector that just does you know, surface mount sort of stuff, because those stupid micros, and they just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Really? Jesus. That thing just does not want to get hot. Okay. Fine. and feed it in to get nice and hot, and it just starts working. Don't go hog on it, because it'll wick up and then get stiff and it'll break and crash or something. Yeah, that'll work. Which one of these is positive? So if I flip this guy over, the negative is on this side. So we'll do that guy first, just to make sure. Get all the oxidization off. Tin it real quick. Get down on this pad. That's going to be pretty good right there, I think. And then same thing with this positive wire. Just get on it, get it hot, work it back and forth a little bit. Oh, it's pretty good. Good. I'm okay with that. Shit. I could have done way worse. Okay, and then like that. Should be fine. Should be fine. Next step after this is almost certainly going to be mounting it up in the frame, just because I need a better platform to work from at this point for the rest of this build, because you know, once you got a bunch of shit flopping around, it's time to kind of say, okay, yep, time to do it right. I'm just going to go one at a time. Get you nice and tinned. Work it down on there. Again. Okay. Move on to the next one if you can. Okay, I think that'll do. I think I got them both pretty well tinned. Yep, pretty happy with that. Okay, now this one is the negative. I want that one to go in first. Okay, just get it hot, work it back and forth a little bit, and it should all melt down. Clean it. Turn it. Alright, this one might be a little trickier, but work it back and forth. Yep, see, that was a cold one. So it just popped right off of there. Yeah, what we're going to do on this guy is get it hot again, feed in some more solder, and then lift and hold. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, yep. I think we're in good shape here. Yeah, we'll put this guy up on some 1/4 inch standoffs. So we're going to need probably, what's that, centimeter and a half, 15, 20 millimeter, I think should be plenty. Let's double check it. 1 millimeter. You should be about 20. We're going to come up through. Yeah. Come up through. Nope, not even close. We're going to need like 25 or 6 millimeter. Either that, or we figure out a way to take this bottom plate off and put these in and make it mounted up, but I'm not willing to do that. I do have, let's see, I need 12 25 millimeter. Yeah. Twelve 25 millimeter. I think I have 12 25 millimeter in another bucket. I've got 30 millimeter. That's going to use up all my millimeter, all my long ones. We're going to need 1, 2, actually we only need 10 these really long ones. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then these two at the end are the reason why we only need 10 of those. And actually, these last two here. There. Okay, let's figure out what we're doing here. We're gonna, no reason why we shouldn't use a bit longer standoff to get it up off the deck. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we want, we can drop the flight controller down a little bit, or we can just leave it where it is. Yeah, might as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that should be 12. So now we can run our stuff up through like that. Yeah, the PDBs don't need to be soft mounted or anything. They're meant for, they're just non-critical components, really. I say critical, but they actually are critical to the function of the craft, but they're not like sensitive, is what I mean. Yeah, this will get plenty of airflow to all 3 of these components, which is a good thing. You always want good airflow around everything on a quad, especially one pulling as many amps as this thing will. Yep, it's gonna be a mighty beast. Gonna be a mighty beast, mighty. Can I even get this thing on here? Looks like I can. I'm going to actually double check everything here because it's a little snug, I'm not going to lie. It's a little closer than I was hoping for it to be. But you know what? We have options. We do have options. This thing is a monster. Just a monster. You know? Okay. Skip over the hole, do the base. gonna be fun to fly though. Terror of the skies. Yeah. Gonna be a fun little flight. Did I really grab two different sized? I did. Oh. You know, never fails that, you know, you fuck up on camera. Let's see, just how far up do these guys come? I may not need the full Monty here. That's almost perfect, actually. Yep. Just when you start thinking, oh, I got this. Fuck it up. Everything is bigger, heavy. Yeah, these motors, yeah, it's gonna be a fun quad to go move around. Get some fun GoPro footage of this thing doing flips, rolls. And hell, I can trim vegetation too while I'm at it. Because these blades, Jesus Christ, 7-inch. Okay, there we go. We want to position this guy first. And this guy second. Okay, here it looks good. And then this guy, that just does it clear? I don't know if that clears. I don't know if that's going to clear it. No, it is not. We could actually run our PDB now. This You know what, I'm kind of okay with that, as long as this one reaches. Looks like it does. Or might. Oh, come on. Come on, give it to me. Don't deny me. Yeah. We can make that work. It's just backwards. It's not the end of the world. Flip it around in beta flight. Should be good to go. Oh, come on, get in there. Yeah. Yeah. I might actually run lower standoffs on this guy, because he's got some big gummies. But in the meantime, I'm going to lock down where this one is. where these done been. Actually, not yet. We're not going to lock them in place yet. What we'll do is we'll back out our cables, and we'll put like one little guy in the corner, maybe to keep it in place, but now we need to hook up. Now we need to hook up all the rest of our kit. Now that we got that figured out, yeah. Now that we got that figured out, we need to get the rest of our kit done. So we need to find. We're going to run shorter ones on there, and we still need this guy out. This is garbage. Set this guy over here. I'm going to put these gummies in this thing so we know and remember. These have big ass gummies. Way, so we don't need them anymore. One. Two. Oh, come on. Get in there. Yeah, the reason why I haven't bothered connecting up a lot of like telemetry and current sensing and other things on this is because it's a DJI. Now, what that really means is that I have a kind of a limited OSD available to me. It's gotten better, but it's not perfect yet, and things like, you know, amp draw and other shit like that just doesn't. Doesn't work. So yeah. All right. So let's figure out what we're running here. We've got all of our kit right here. Wow. Okay. Black and red, and that should be plenty for what we're doing, I think. That and this wire. Well, that's kind of nice. It comes with like everything. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna grab our stick vise. We're gonna go ahead and get our unit. Let's figure out first if there's a way we should mount this. So this has LEDs on top. Positive and negative are actually labeled on the pad, so that's good. And then we've got I don't know what these symbols are. Yeah, no wonder it's sideways. Telemetry, PWM, and something else. Let's make sure we know what we're doing. When in doubt, Google. We're going to pop open a new window for this, actually. Alright. Razor 32. Wiring. ZOR 32. Here. Search. Images. Yeah. Oh, LED telemetry. Yep. Okay. That's what it said. So, always good to Google if you don't know the answer. And that is true in life as a whole, generally. And we're just going to use these guys. Yep. Alright. Get started. So we want PWM pad first. That's this guy right here. Yep, looks good. Throw that guy on. And we'll just take and stick our ground on here. Yeah, it's that lead-free solder, I guarantee it. Okay. Turn it real quick. Oop. And then get down on it. Okay. Get a 10 going on this guy, because it's just not gonna like that lead-free solder at all. Lead-free is the worst. God damn, it's just not cooperating today. Okay. Be good. That's got it. That's got it. Finally. Get this little guy. No. No, no, no. That's just a via, it's not a hole. Okay, good. Rocking and rolling. We got one mostly done here. And then this guy I'm just going to tin up so that we can attach our motors later on. 1, 2, 3. Good. 5 more to go. Oh, wait, I forgot. We actually did want to run this guy, didn't we? You know what? We can come back and do those. So we're just going to set these aside. Where'd you go? Set that over there. Oh, this one actually came with a rubber sheath for our ESC. That's good. Well, maybe my other one did too, and I'm just an idiot. Okay. Just going to go through, open everything up. Welcome back. I'm actually discharging some batteries. I attempted to fly today and screwed it up. So I'm going to talk a little louder. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, maybe I'll just cut this part out. I've got all my ESCs wired up, and we're going to try to figure out a layout that works for this ESC or this these power distribution boards. And so far I think I've got it, but we'll now we need to mount up a motor and kind of go from there. Figure out how long we need. We're going to need all that wire, I suspect. And I don't like those. Let's see, what are we going to have here? I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but yeah, we've got just the perfect amount of thread to come up through there and not come above the base of this unit. Let's loosen it out a touch and do the rest. yeah, you're gonna have a hard time seeing because this damn thing is so huge. Yeah, I mean, look, you're out of focus, and I'm already way up here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. As I was saying, I finished up my ESCs. Now I'm having to mount up a motor to kind of figure out where we want everything to be, and that's just where I'm at now. There it is. So the base on these motors is 19 by 19, which is what the carbon is cut for 16 by 16 and 19 by 19. So it's got sort of elongated holes, and so when you put on the first screw, you gotta be sure to push it back against the X, or else it kind of becomes hard to get the other screws to line up. Yeah, it's coming along. Gonna be a good build. I like Xing too. Okay. So what I was thinking was I would just tuck, since we did one over here, we just want to tuck this guy in like this and then solder these wires to the board. I know that's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it is nice and compact and tidy, which are all good things, especially when you're dealing with, you know, a chainsaw of death like this. So I think I'm gonna see if that pans out with these others. So the other one kind of come off like that, and then this third one kind of come off like that, something like that, I think will work. And the arms, the length of wire is just about perfect for this quad, so I think we're in good shape, I think. So let's see if I can get one of these completely done. So we're going to figure out just about where this thing belongs without soldering it in, and then let's make sure that the other side isn't going to be a problem. Okay. Come up like that, and this guy come in and come up like this. They are not touching, so they are just about at the far end there. Okay, so if we line them up, if we say, okay, that's the far side, right there, that's what we're doing. We're just lining it up with this post right here. That should be good. So the reason I have to do it kind of like this is just because I can't seem to find a good place to put it otherwise, and that reaches on these wires that I already soldered on. So I'm just going to do it like this and have 1, 2, 3 like that, and yeah, that ought to be just fine. And then we'll shrink wrap it, and then we'll solder on the other bits after we stick it down. I think that's the right order of operations. So we're just going to line it up kind of like that. We'll say that is plenty. Okay. Now, line it up. We'll say that we're going to come a little wide on this one so that we're the next one we might just do up straight as is. Okay, and then this one's going to come up and it's going to go like this. Yeah, we're going to do that one just like it is. Okay. Yeah, these back ones are the only ones that need to be a little bit funky. Alright. We're going to solder this guy, pretty much coming right off this side. Like so. We're going to do the middle one, kind of up and around. And I need a pair of tweezers. This guy. When in doubt, stick it down with a little bit of blue tack, okay, and just that'll hold it in place for you in about the position you want it. That way you can hold it non-permanently while you get everything sort of exactly how you want it. Oh, come on. I really do need a good pair of tweezers. Okay, alright with that one. Good. So blue tack is great, but it sometimes leaves behind a little bit of residue. Just take your blue tack and tap it. Boop, boop, boop. Done. That looks pretty good, just like that, in my opinion. Pretty good. I think we can slide on the shrink wrap. Yeah. Alright. Always time. Okay, that is that. I think we're in pretty good shape here. We'll get this guy secured down with some servo tape and soldered up to our board here. I'm thinking, yep, that coming out and around like so. We'll give it just a little bit of extra in case it comes free, but for the most part I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. We'll get these wires taped down, and yeah. Hold it together like guitar strings. Okay. That looks pretty good, I think. I think that came out all right. Yep. And like I said, we'll get it wrapped around and soldered in place once we do the other side. At least on this one. On the others, I'm not so sure. But on this one, I kind of feel like this is the best way. That in place. We can toss all of this. Okay. Now, kind of. Is that all I used? That's probably all I used. Line it up best we can. Yep. I think that's gonna be okay. Just about like so. Keep it up out of my way a little bit. Let's put our motor on first. Oh God, this thing is huge. I hope it's fun to fly. Okay. I'm gonna take, we got plenty. Okay. We're gonna come along like so. And we're gonna come right in the side just like that. So that'll be just enough. And then this one, come along, bring, oh, this is not the middle, this was the middle. Come along, bring it around a little bit, and then, yeah, so we'll take off. And then this guy, I think we'll just leave it as is. Yep. Okay, little, and then this guy, right? Tweezers, pull, all right. It's done. It's done. That one's done. Good. Good, good, good. Knock it off. There we go. Take this guy out for a moment. Knock all these solder balls off. Use our blue tack out of there. Like I said, it looks like death when you peel it off sometimes, and you're just like, ugh, this is going to leave a huge freaking mess. And it really doesn't. I've been pleasantly surprised just how easy it is to clean up with just a couple of quick boop, boop, boop. And then, you know, I mean, you saw how nasty that looked. Like, you don't want to leave that shit on your quad. But works great. As soon as it cools down, becomes less stringy, comes right off. we go. We are cooking with gas here. Yeah. Now, let's see here. Let's get our sticky tape in place on the back of these guys, and then we'll thread them under. Yeah, actually what we're going to do is we're going to lift this guy up off of here so that we can position it just a little bit better without having to fight around with this guy. So, like I said, just kind of line it up best we can there, and then line it up best we can here, and that ought to do it. Yeah. Let's get our wires. Okay. Get these taped up real quick. Oh. There we go. A little bit of tape, hold it in place. And what we'll do, grab our servo tape and we'll cut us off, about 3/8 inch wide piece. 2 of those. Stick one on the bottom there. And the other on the bottom over here. Okay. Now, peel off this guy. Pull it just about taut where we want it. Stick her down. That actually looks pretty damn good. Pull it off. Pull it tight to where we want it. Stick it down. I'll call that a success right there. Pretty good. Pretty good. Tighten down some. Actually, we're gonna go on the far corner. Because we're not gonna heat up that corner. And now we'll do this guy here. What we'll do is we're gonna run it around. Let me get all the wires. This guy is coming around and we'll connect up to the one pad. Yep, just like that. And we'll clip him after we do this guy. We'll do the big ones first and then the small ones. It seems like the right way. Yep. So let's repin this. It no doubt has a shitload of lead free. Okay. Okay. One. That looks pretty good. Now let's let's do this other one real quick. What did I do with my solder? Take it out and just wrap it over. Okay. Figure out our this one here. I'm going to come around like so, clip it there, trim 10. And then we'll take our tweezers. See if we can get it down through the hole in this PDB. Okay, come on. Yep, we did it. Just like that. Now we can put one more of these little nylon nuts on. And these on metal posts are pretty good just because, you know, if you're in a hard enough crash where it's going to break, you know, the board or break these, it's always a good idea to just break these and hope that the board survives. I prefer the metal mount, you know, the stack, but you know, if you're hitting something hard enough that that's going to give way, well, all bets are off anyway with any big crash, but yeah, you just might as well go with it. Okay, let's see if we can get these guys re-tinned. Get my lead. Okay. Let's get her. That looks pretty good to me. I don't like the way that looks. It's dry, that's why. Okay, bring this guy around like so. And then clip it, tin it. And then we'll flip it over and see if we can't make it. No, not going to work today. All right, got that wired up. Yeah, hit that connector with my iron. It happens. It's a good thing we're not using the whole thing, huh? Good. Now we can tighten down all of our nuts. Well, snug them down anyway. It's pretty tight. Yeah. We got 2 done. 6 more to go. Yeehaw. Next ones aren't going to be nearly as difficult to do, he says confidently. Let's go ahead and do like we've been doing and get our motor mounted first. Get rid of all of our garbage as we go. Yeah, this thing runs 7-inch props, and these motors can take like 8 or 9-inch props apparently, so they are stout and beefy. Hopefully they work well for this quad. Quad. I keep calling it quad because a hex sounds funny. Quad is a thing now, not just a quadcopter. It's got its own sort of understanding. It's an overloaded term. Quad. Alright, we are going to run this guy here. Make sure he is happy. No. like that better. We're going to run this guy here, and this guy is going to go right here. Yep, just like that. So, do we actually need to cut these? If we tuck them in just a little further, no. Fuck it. I think this will work. It's just blue tack right here. Get this guy that where we want it. Yeah, blue. Okay. Get just a tad on here. Where's my tweezers? Cool down just a minute while we straighten out our wires, get them taped in place. Yep, good old blue tack, come right up. And we're gonna put the shrink wrap on this guy. And then just like we did with the other one, I think we'll wait until we have all 4 ready to go before we stick them down. Make some noise. Moving on to the next one. It's not a fast process, but it is a process. We are wrapping up this hexacopter here, and I was I think I ran out of time, or ran out of storage on my SD card here, but we've got our rears in, we've got this PCB kind of put in place, and we've got it held down with one nut here. I'm trying to get this other one in, and basically what I'm doing here is I'm just bringing it right around to the back and trying to get this guy up. There we go. And using a pair of 4. Yeah, it's snug getting these wires in, but it's doable. See, like that. Yeah, let's tin this guy up. Okay. Tin, clean. That should be good. We're going to hold it down on the positive pad here. I think that's got it. And then the negative one, kind of fish around underneath. Oh. It works the exact same way. Let's get our wire here, bring it over, clip it, tin it, there we go. It's in there. Good, 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 good. And we will put another nut on this one. Alright, now for the hard ones. These middle ones. Okay. Alright, I'm going to run this one up and over, I think, because it's just on the short side. Maybe I can make it work. Maybe I can. Okay, get this one tinned. Okay, and then bring it over, around, and onto the pad. That should have it. Okay, now for the next one, I want to make sure I've got the right pad, right wire. I think that this one goes nowhere. This is the one that connects to that. This one comes around, goes to that one. This one comes around, goes to there. Alright, so it's this one here that comes up to that. Okay. Bring it up. It's got it. Now, let's make sure I've got the right wire. Nope, it's this one right here. Bring this one up and around to the one. Tin that, and then we'll clip it. I think we're done with the blue tack. Put it back under the edge of the bench for safekeeping. Okay, and I need my okay. That's got it. Last one. And then we should have no more soldering after this guy is done. We should be all done with the solder. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, we'll do the negative one first. Bring it around and up. We'll just put the clamp right there. Up, over, that one's got it. Do the same thing for the positive. Bring it up. Take it just a little bit. Up, over, and looks pretty good to me. Last one should be this wire right here. We'll bring it out, around, up, and clip. We can clip just a little more off of that. Okay. Don't like how long this one is. There we go. Okay, good stuff. Now, we should be done with our wiring here. We're going to put on 2 more of our nylon standoffs. Now that we've got our components mounted and soldered up, okay. All right. ESCs are all fully mounted. Now, let's figure out our flight control stack over here. Now, the problem is we have this guy. These are the wrong standoffs to be using here. And I realized that after setting. This guy has these big rubber gummies for the bottom. You can't actually get a nut on top. I mean, I probably could if I forced it, but I think I'm just going to replace these with the smaller ones and be done with it. So, only take a second to take these off. Put on the shorter ones. Oh, where are you, shorter ones? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think I've got them all the same style. Let's see if we can do it even better. No, these two are the same style. Okay. No. Okay, there we go. I think I got them all now. Good. Yeah, doing it right sometimes takes a little bit of extra, you know, but in the end, I think everyone will think the end result is better if I just do it right, rather than having to redo something later on. this one's on here tight. Good. That's done. Now, our ESC, which we need to mount kind of in a weird way with the back, with the front facing back, so that we can make this guy work. This one goes with those down. Yep. And this one goes in like so. Good. 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 All right. That should be that for our, let's see here. We want to, our top is located here. Our standoffs. Yep. Does this go up through here? No, it doesn't. It comes up through the front, though. Yeah. So we want, yeah, like that. Move it forward or backwards to change our angle. I got it. Let's get our standoffs working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get all of these standoffs. Put them over here. Let's do the weird one first. That's this one in the middle. It's like a roller skate, man. It's weird. What are we looking for here? We're looking for a bucket of screws. Come down from the top. Like so. That's one. And yeah, I gotta say, this hasn't been that bad a build. It's been a shitload of soldering. I mean, like 2+ hours of just soldering to get all this shit wired up. You know? I mean, that's a shitload of soldering. I probably could have just bought 2 4-in-1s, gotten the same thing done, you know. thing is huge. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm genuinely looking forward to flying this thing now. It's so obscene. Alright, let's see, what do we got? We got one, those and those. We got these right here, and then the fronts. Genuinely obscene. And if you know me, that's pretty much my style. Oh, come on. Alright, air unit will just sit right there. Make sure that you can actually see this. Yep, we're going to set our air unit right there. And then that will let us fix this guy. Like this, and then like this. Ow. Yeah. And then we can slide them up inside. Oh, come on out of there. This side is up. One and two. Yep, that's the up. No, come on, get in there. We'll just put a little dab there. Yeah, I know this is not servo tape, but I actually prefer this stuff for this mount. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good there. You know, the best way to hold it down, if you can believe it, is tape. Alright, let's make sure we're not going to cover up our port. Yep. Yeah. That holds it pretty darn well. Okay. Now, we want the cable for our transmitter. Does it really want me to put it all the way back here? You know what, I don't need to do that. Yeah. I don't. I just don't need to want to run it that way. There it is. Okay, Glark's connector connects here to the back of the unit. And that gets us our video and everything else, including our S-Bus lines. And then this guy plugs right into the unit here. Good. I'm just going to take that back out. Give it a couple of twists. That way it'll stay inside the quad. Won't go flopping around. Yeah, that looks good. Looking good. And then we need to secure our stack. Some nuts. This thing is going to be a blast. Gonna be a blast. That feels pretty good. Yeah, we're going to be running Betaflight on this, and if hopefully I don't know if there's another version of Betaflight that's better, like an Emu Flight or something else that really makes the difference with hexacopters. But yeah, if it turns out that one of those is better, we can definitely put that on it. Let's see how it performs. Alright, am I... I'm okay with this. Okie dokie. Let's get our oops. You know what? I may have thrown out the cable. Okay. I think that'll work. I do believe we are coming down to it. Before I plug this in, we are going to do a barred rail test. And by that I mean we are going to double check that we don't have anything funky going on with our PDBs or anything else. And the easiest way to do that is to check for continuity across your positive and negative lines. So far we've got nothing. Look good there. There. Oop. Oh, there we go. Those are isolated. Everything here checks. There checks out. There. Just making sure everything's still isolated. No reason for there to be any issues, but I just double check. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Okay. Good. That looks good. I think we are ready to plug in a battery with a smoke stopper. Okay, truth. Time for the moment of truth. Nice. All right, we have a working quad. let's finish getting it buttoned up. We know we've got it to the point where it will do what we kind of want it to do, and we are just going to attach our top plate. That'll get us one step closer to being done. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not tightening anything down. I'm just getting them mostly turned down into the spaces we've got. Okay. I'll tighten everything up right near the end. Okay. Ooh. This has been a fun little quad to put together. Little. Ain't nothing little about this thing. That's for damn sure. Alright. Probably want about, if you want to do like cinematic flying, probably don't want that much up tilt. So I'm going to do something like this. Maybe that's a shitload. That's a little bit. That's a lot less. Why don't we try that? See how we feel about it. Do you have anything longer? No. All right. There it is. Holy shit, that's a lot. That's a shitload of quad, I'll tell you that much. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with how this thing came together. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of work, but it's done now. Oh, shit. Holy cow. There's a shitload of soldering. A shitload of soldering. Oh. Oh, Christ. I don't know what I ate. Here. Here. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's make sure we're snug on our standoffs here. Okay, there it is. That is a big ass quad. I mean, it doesn't even fit on the screen. I mean, I gotta tilt it like at 60 degrees or something and even get it. Yeah, I mean, holy shit. That is a shitload of quad. Yeah, so I reckon for these, what I'll do is, let's measure our where are we at? These are the 7056. Oh, okay. There's 2 bags in each. I must have known I was buying. Give me double the props. You know what, this one I'm just going to tear open. I got 2. This other one. Okay. Now my plan is to run 2 batteries here and here. Run this wire up here, run our splitter, and run it like that. So that's the full thing, right? And with all the props, let's Let's make sure we got a good weight test. See if we can even weigh it. Okay, we're just using this kind of to lift this quad up off the deck a bit. All right, right now we're at 1,500 grams with all the props. 1,548. $15.48. Yeah, it's about 1,500 to 1,600 grams. Yeah, 1.6 kilograms. Should be an interesting beast to go and fly. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And the next bit we see should be flight video of this monster going about, because I think it's done. I'm going to take it over to beta flight and put 4.1 on it and take it upstairs and make sure that my air unit registers. We're gonna figure out what we need to do to keep these from ending up in props. I have no idea how to configure props on this. Because, I mean, honestly, who the fuck knows, right? Yeah. I'll just run it down. Down the spine, right? Goddamn antennas on this thing. Put a loop through there. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, next up is flight video from this guy. Thank you for watching. It's been a blast, and I'm looking forward to taking it out. So, thanks again.